What is the first sign that your partner is cheating? Distance. Always distance. Emotionally. Physically you can tell. It starts off with small things and then turns into complete disdain for you. When from your perspective, everything is going fine in the relationship. Always be cautious when they create distance out of nowhere. Biggest red flag for me was when she suddenly backed off when I went to kiss her. That's a very good one. A surefire sign. They're suddenly working a lot of overtime with no money to show for it. I was doing that, but I had a gambling addiction. Not cheating. How are you handling it now? Suddenly acting like they hate you. Yep. Or the marriage/relationship was never good, or suddenly they seem upset about things that you thought were resolved years prior. Revisionist history of the relationship is a big one. I've seen it secondhand. We were never happy. We were off from the start. I've had a friend tell me that while she was cheating on her husband. I won't claim to be a mind reader, a fly on the wall at their house, etc. But I know that was not the case. It was obvious to anyone who knew this couple that they were super happy at one point. Distancing themselves from you, or the opposite, getting overly sexual and doing new things in bed that you know must have recently been learned somewhere, or that might just be what a narcissist does, not a normal person. So cheating is indicated by both an increase or decrease in interest in you. What if their interest stays the same? Picking fights so they have an excuse to storm off and be somewhere for a while. When I saw that guy with his D in her, I started to suspect something. Oh come on. Don't jump the gun on that one. It could have been an accident. What? She tripped, fell, landed on his dick, drive, C. 1999. Starts being distant with you and smiles at their phone when texting someone and doesn't say who. Doesn't call or text often. Stops making plans while laying next to me. Tried to ask me if I thought something was funny that her and the dude were currently texting about, as if to test if I was as interesting. Honestly, it didn't entertain me, but yeah, no. Infatuation will make anything funny. You knew she was talking to someone else already. They start accusing you of cheating. People usually project their fears onto other people. My STB ex-wife would constantly check my phone and every message. Guess who got caught being in contact with the former FWB and also sexting a colleague? Starbucks is selling wives now. Overly protective of their phone. I just don't want her to see my Reddit account. She already thinks I'm weird. My wife found the account I used 2 accounts ago, and on top of not understanding how Reddit worked, she assumed I was posting, like on Facebook, to a page for my friends to see. She also read into a bunch of askreddit threads like, what would you do if you woke up with the opposite sex's genitalia? My answer of I'd try to see how far I could stretch my newfound V and jump up and down to see my boobs bounce was disturbing. I ended up deleting that account because she had memorized the account name. I don't even log on to my Reddit account on my computer anymore because she may find it again. I don't sub to anything NSFW and never have, but there is some form of social media I like to keep private. The times my wife was cheating, she would start to get mean and resentful towards me. There was always a component of her and her affair partners demonizing me. Times? Always? Partners? They accuse you of it. Yes. It's some kind of twisted justification for their wandering. By accusing you, it's projection. If they are cheating, your loyalty is unfathomable. Impossible. You could never. Beyond what they could even imagine. Been there. Done that, hell to the no. The way they see it, they're doing it. And they're getting away with it. Why wouldn't everyone do it? This goes for any form of dishonesty, cheating at board games, shady business practices, or just good old-fashioned lying. That's the main reason I stay as honest as possible. Because people create their own hell when they live like this. But often they were raised like this and literally know no other way. They literally cannot conceive of people treating each other right if they can get away with being manipulative. Trust me when I say sometimes there is no sign at all. Usually true if the cheater has been cheating from the start or is a lifelong cheater. Why you coming home at 5 in the morn? Something's going on, can I? /U0001FAF5. Ugh. I got this reference too. Not proud I did. Change in behavior. Going or staying out later than usual. Distancing themselves from me. The last straw for me is when they came back from grocery shopping. No groceries since the lines were too long and their hair was messy. They're pregnant. So how did you know he was cheating on you? Well, for one, he came home from a business trip pregnant. After an argument, she leaves the apartment and returns 2 hours later in a much better mood and goes straight to the shower. I assume that doesn't involve an obvious workout. I've left the house for 2 hours and immediately hopped in the shower when I got back because I went for a bike ride. I'm always in an immensely better mood after that. My ex was turning his phone screen away, went out at night with vague excuses, came home with his vest pockets full of condoms, we didn't use them, and had some lame excuse about it. Well, he was cheating, and she even moved in just 2 weeks after breakup. He works in law now and makes a lot of money. Doesn't surprise me. Dude has no moral. Just wait. Their day will come. It always does. Unfortunately, not true. Some of the shittiest people on earth never suffer consequences for their actions. Telling stories about a friend or an ex-coworker a little too often. This mention-itis. Lipstick on the cock. Some farmers' wives believe in showing their affection to the rooster. Unexplained STDs. Did you ever hear / read the koala story? Just looked it up. No koalas in Britain. All of a sudden they have a new friend they want to show you and do things with altogether. Yes, sociopaths suck. Yeah, ex did this. Started talking a lot about her new coworker. It's like cheaters like to leave a little clue for their so's. If it's a female, then sudden changes in grooming. In case of my wife, shaving frequently down under, Australian hair. Why did she feel the need to travel all this way to shave? Seems like that's the bigger issue. Top tier dad joke. Kudos. Mine always put his phone on do not disturb mode around me. I do this, but out of courtesy for the people I'm with. I want to spend my time with you, focused on you. I get tons of notifications and it's distracting. But yes, cheaters suck. They all of a sudden beat you in Mario Kart. r/bonipeltier. They ask you if you are cheating when you haven't even thought of it. Projection can be hard to control for the guilty. I've always thought it's less projection and more a way to throw them off the scent. If they think I'm furious at the thought of the immorality of cheating, they'll never suspect me of doing it. Let me put on an act. Can be either, or depending on the person and situation, I think. Seeing new text from /x show up on the dash and they flinch and try to cancel it out as fast as possible. Never believe they are just friends only with their ex. Half of Reddit will tell you the best thing in life is a friendship with an ex. I just had a very pleasant dinner with an ex and her husband last night. We dated for about 9 months. But that was 15 years ago. So, it seems really silly to consider her an ex first and foremost, when we've been friends for 20 times as long. That said, she's never sent me a text that I would need to conceal from anyone. The way they act with their phone. Sadly, they mention them in casual conversations, and they often claim to dislike such and such person before they end up clearly liking them. I think people feel compelled to talk about a crush, even to their current partner. For me was an emotional distance forming followed by a severe defensiveness when I gently probed. For example, I suspected she had feelings for her previous BF, and when I talked to her she blew up at me. She was in a competitive graduate school program, and what struck me as weird is she would go back home at times that didn't match her school breaks. So she was missing a week or so each semester, and that was keeping her back in her program. I realized she was cheating on me when I looked at the school schedule of her ex and realized she was planning her trips home around his _schedule, not hers.